Hello, welcome to Dungeon's podcast. I'm your host Justin. Today we're reviewing Wolverine Weapon X Tomorrow Dies Today. This is written by Jason Aaron. This is the third volume in Jason Aaron's Wolverine Weapon X run from, this graphic novel came out in 2010. I don't know exactly when the comic series came out. I actually read the first volume a long time ago. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I liked that, Maverick was it. Maverick was in the first volume. And I really like Maverick's design. So this trade collects issues 11 through 16 of Wolverine Weapon X. And it also comes with Dark Reign's The List, which they reference Dark Reign the List in this series in the comics, right? So the art was done by Ron Garney for issues 11 through 15. And issue 16, you had David Gianfelice, right? And the artist for the list was Esad Ribic. Okay. Esad Ribic's covers are pretty cool. So the story, the main story for this book is the Deathlock story, where basically they're ripping off like Terminator again, which there was a famous X-Men story, you probably heard of it, that was inspired by Terminator. It was called Days of Future Past. But yeah, it starts off with Steve Rogers is back from the dead, right? And Wolverine is going on a pub crawl with him. And there are Deathlocks from the future going around killing vigilantes, right? And then this isn't the Deathlock, these are Deathlocks from the future, right? Yeah. So the story is basically it also kind of reminded me of Looper in a way, which Looper, I kind of wonder if Looper didn't rip this off, because Looper came out like a year after this, so they might have ripped it off. But basically, Deathlocks are in the future. A corporation called Roxxon rules the world, and they have cyborg enforcers called Deathlocks, which they made by taking the corpses of serial killers and combining it with this network artificial intelligence, right? So the resistance, which is led by somebody called the General, who's an ex-superhero, using the brain of Emma Frost and King, is sending messages from the future to the past, using this girl here, who's like a commander in the future. So she goes to Wolverine and tells him, "Hey, Deathlocks from the future are going around killing people who are going to be important in the resistance from the resistance in the future, right?" And one of the targets is Bucky Cap, who was the current Captain America at this time, right? Yeah, and here you see the resistance, right? You even get this. Here you see a future Wolverine, which is pretty, as far as Wolverines go, future Wolverines, he would look cool if both his hands were missing. Like, Jesus, man. Like, come on, at least keep one of them, like in Age of Apocalypse, right? Yeah, so I liked this story. It was pretty cool. You even get to see like a badass future soldier Spider-Man, which at first I thought he was I thought he was Daredevil because he like had these Tunchians that he threw, just like Daredevil, right? But no, you see him snipe with a sniper rifle, so it's obviously Spider-Man. That didn't stop Richard C. Meyer from making a Daredevil clone and making him a sniper in his story. So yeah, also the Avengers are in this comic book story as well. You get to see U.S. agents, Captain America, Thing, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Spider-Woman's there. It's a pretty cool story, and I like the plot twist, right? Right? And the Psycho Killer Deathlock was pretty cool as well. But yeah, I don't want to spoil the whole story. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Though, like, some of the dialogue and reference humor was pretty bad. It was kind of cringe. But overall, I enjoyed the story and it was pretty fun. I hope you didn't see that, because it kind of spoiled who the general was, which is supposed to be a mystery. So yeah, the last two issues in this book is you have the story where Kurt Wagner died, and like Wolverine is like, you know, mourning his death, right? He gets told by Angel he had like one last request of you in his will. He wants you to deliver this really expensive piano to this church on top of a mountain, right? In like South America or whatever, right? And Wolverine does that while reminiscing about Nightcrawler and their like atheist versus Christian debates, right? Which was kind of lame, but you know, at the end it had like this like pro-Christian message, which was pretty cool. Though in the next story they kind of they went the opposite direction, right? I wasn't a fan of the art. Here's a Esad Ribic cover. Yeah, this is Dark Reign the List Wolverine. Here it's basically about how there's like a Weapon X, not Weapon X, but you know, a Weapon X like style facility where like a super virus is being made, right, that controls people who believe in God and stuff. So like Marvel Boy finds out about this. Norman Osborn wants it as well. So Marvel Boy, who left the Dark Avengers, tries to get Wolverine's help to shut down this facility, and they go they go there, but like instantly Wolverine gets mind controlled. And because the Kree are atheists, like, Marvel Boy's not affected, right? Which you end up, but also Phantom X is there, who's also part of the Weapon X series. He's Weapon like 16 Weapon 13, right? And he also doesn't believe in God. So they end up saving the world from this virus, right? So this was a pretty cool story, right? It was a cool team up, yeah. Though, what's up with the Kree nunchucks? That was kind of dumb. Yeah. Also, the guy who created the killer Deathlocks is in this story, right? He gets fired by Norman Osborn. Yeah. So yeah, overall I liked this book. But there was some bad dialogue here and there, and some cringe humor. But overall, I liked this story, and it was a unique take on the Terminator style. Hey, we gotta change the future. Save the past from the future or whatever, right? Very reminiscent of Looper, which. Wouldn't surprise me if, what's his name, Ryan Johnson ripped this off for Looper, man, because it very much reminded me of Looper. Yeah. So if I were to give this a rating, I would say it's not a 7, but I would say it's a 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, I would say if you're a Wolverine fan, maybe check it out if you can get it for cheap. There's also a motion comic, which a lot of those motion comics you can watch on YouTube for free. I picked up the motion comic DVD for like at the same store I bought this at, which was the dollar store, Dollarama. Yeah, so that's 6.5 out of 10. Worth reading, but if you can't, maybe check out the motion comic first, right? So our next review for X-Men month is going to be Uncanny X-Men Poptopia, which this graphic novel is from 2001, has a really cool cover. But yeah, because it's from 2001, you have the Grant Morrison like new X-Men costumes here. At first I thought that was Cyclops. That's actually Iceman. Oh man, yeah. So get ready to we're gonna review this next.